Welcome to Macon Memories. I'm Lynda Wright at Randolph-Macon College. Today is May 21st, 2014, and I'm interviewing Barbara Thompson and Cora Daniel. I'll let them introduce themselves so you can get the sound of their voices, and then we'll get the interview started.
Barbara Thompson.
I'm Cora Daniel.
Good, great. Okay, just to get started, I'm going to ask you to tell us about a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and how you happened to come to Randolph-Macon. Cora, why don't we start with you, since I think you came to Randolph-Macon a couple of times.
Yes. I was born in Nottoway County, a town called Burkesville, Virginia. I came to Randolph-Macon when I was very young. Some people took me in for to go to school, and I ended up staying with a friend of mine's wife, and so she helped me to go to school and things here in Ashland, Virginia.
Mm-hmm. And then you came to Randolph-Macon around that same time to work?
Not right away. I came to Randolph-Macon once I was in school and started working in the evening. I was able to get a part-time job after school at the old cafeteria, which was run by ARA, Slater Food Service. That was on the weekend and in the evening after school.
Mm-hmm. Good. Thank you. Okay, Barbie, you want to tell us where you grew up and about coming to Randolph-Macon?
I'm from Montpelier, Virginia, and I was working at Standard Drug Warehouse, and they sold out, and for us to work for them continually, that was in Baltimore, so I would have to go back and forth, and that was 50 miles one way, so I didn't take the job. Well, my supervisor here, Lionel Abrams, he's a friend of the family, and he knew that I was looking for work, so he told me about the job he had Randolph-Macon.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember what year that was, roughly?
It was 1997,
Mm-hmm. Very good.
December.
Very good. Okay. Well, so why don't we just talk about, we'll just keep going with you, Barbara, for a minute. So in 1997 you came, and Lionel worked in the physical plant. So the position he told you about was in physical plant.
Correct.
So you want to tell us about what you did when you first came, with the way you worked and things like that.
When I first came here, I was working at the President House,
Oh.
and the Science Building, Copley Science Building, and I was doing the Honors House.
Mm-hmm. And who was president at the time when you worked at the president's house?
The president was
Was it Dr. Payne?
Dr. Martin.
Dr. Martin was president at that time.
Right.
So you got to know his family pretty well.
I did.
Yeah. Very good. And well, let's go back to Cora. So you were working in the old cafeteria, when you were still in school.
Yes.
And so tell us about that. Who were some of the people who were working there and that kind of thing?
Some of the people, most of them are dead, but some of the old one was Lester Jackson.
Yeah.
Emily Goin, Miss Emily Goin, and Miss Gladys Jackson, Miss Ben Jackson, Bill Johnson.
Wow. So a lot of Jacksons.
It was a
Their
lot of
family
people.
worked there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. The only ones that I know that still is alive would be Dorothy Ford. She worked there too. So it was like a very big group of people. It was a good place to work at. I enjoyed it.
And so you did that in the evenings and not, weekends when you were in school.
Yes.
And then did you end up going to work there full time after you finished school?
No. I at that time I was in school and I got pregnant with my first child. So I worked there for a while, and then I left because ARA had changed to another food service. Another food service had taken over, and a lot of changes went on at that time. So I left there.
Yeah.
And I went to another place to work at that time.
Yeah. And roughly what year was that around the time you came and when you left that first one?
I think I came in by 68,
Uh-huh.
1968.
Mm-hmm.
And when I left there was like about 1973.
Mm-hmm. About that period.
About that period, because I went to the shirt factory. We used to have a shirt factory in Ashland,
Oh.
and I went there to work
Uh-huh.
after I had my daughter.
Mm-hmm. Well, talk a little bit about what your day-to-day experiences were working, Barbara, for you in the physical plant. I know you worked at the President's House in Copley and the Honors House. Talk about what you did and who were some of the people you worked with and what the buildings were like at that time. Are they different than they are now? Or have they changed? That kind of thing.
Well, let me see. When I was working there at the Copley Science Building, I was working on the 3rd floor. And then I was working. I go there in the mornings and do that first, and then because I went to the President's House twice a week,
Uh-huh.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I would go over there and wash, clean, iron clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I used to like to go and check out Dr. Martin's peach pies. He used to make homemade peach pies, and
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I enjoyed them and all. And let me see. And I work at the honors house where naturally the honor roll students and all,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoyed them. I met quite a few students and all from there also. And then I enjoyed the professors at the science building also, because they took up time with me and talking, and did a lot of communicating, and it was sad because one of the professors had a car accident and she got killed, and that was real sad because all of us were like family. And I remember that happened on a Sunday because I was at church, and I got a call, and they were letting me know that she had an accident.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
So you got to know the faculty pretty well.
Yes.
In the Copley.
Oh yeah, I think I knew everybody in the science building because I love people and love communicating and all that.
Yeah.
So I would go on all 3 floors and all. And to be honest, I think that's why the college gave me another building to do, because they figured I had so much time. So then they gave me the night house. They call it the night house.
Is that the guest house?
It was called a night house, where you go across the track. I don't know what.
Oh, Knight, like someone's name was Knight.
It might have been.
know.
I don't.
Which house does the college still own it?
Yes.
Is it where the religious studies department is?
I don't know what it really
Yeah,
is.
but anyway, so you worked over there.
Right, I worked over there also. And then I guess they figured my punishment was enough, so then they stopped me from working there.
So they
I don't
thought
know.
you had too much time on your hands because
Yeah.
you were chatting with everybody.
Right, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I mean, but every time I had my work done,
Yeah.
I was doing my work and all.
Well, any faculty in the science building that you were especially fond of?
Oh, I love them all. Serge, Professor Serge, the lady, Mary, or I went by that first name, Mary. Oh, Lord, I can't think right now.
She's the one who died in the accident.
Mary. And, it's another professor. What's the guy? He's retired now. Oh, no, my memory is leaving me. I'm having a time. I think.
Quiet, love to fish.
I don't know if he fishing now.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember his name either, but I'm thinking somebody anyway.
Short. He from New York.
No.
See, I don't know no
Well,
professor.
Well, Cora, thank you, Barbara. Let's hear about Cora. We're going to take just a short break. Yes, Barbara, I think you just remembered that the professor you were thinking of was Brian Moore.
Right. Yeah.
Moores,
Brian
yes.
Moore.
Right. Thank you for that. Cora, so you took some time off and went to work for the shirt factory. Tell us about when you came back to work at Randolph-Macon, and then you were working in a different department.
Well, I came back to Randolph-Macon because I was working out on 250 in Gushland, Virginia, and I had a young son, and I wanted a job that is closer to home.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a good place to work
Mm-hmm.
because I knew a lot of people here in Randolph-Macon. So when I came back for the job, Lionel Abrams gave me the job here at Randolph-Macon
Mm-hmm.
College.
That's great, and the same person. He's been here a long time, and
Yes, he
he
has.
was just honored the other day with a nice award. Recognition.
Yes.
Yeah. So you came in physical plant, and which places on campus have you worked during that time?
Well, I work at Moreland, Conrad, Roding House,
So some dorms. You did some dorms and offices.
library. Yes.
And when I should say both of you work in the library
We
now.
work-
Yes, obviously the
yes,
library.
yes.
Which is great, right? So how did what year was that when you came back to work in physical plant? Do you remember?
I came back October the 2nd, 1992.
92. So you've been here since 92. Okay.
No, I'm sorry, corrected, 96.
96. Okay. And you came in 97, so this physical
Yeah.
plant time, y'all been here overlapped most of that time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, Cora, you especially worked in the dorms, so tell us about what your relationship was like with some of the students on campus.
Working in the dorms is wonderful to me. The only thing that sometimes get very difficult is when you have to do the showers. Sometimes the students, when you get ready to come into their room, they run in the shower. They be late for class, and they realize that we could be cleaning their room for at least 10 or 15 minutes, their shower, so they try to beat us in the showers. But other than that, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to have a relationship with the student and to be able to know each student by name and to be able to communicate with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Were there any students particularly you remember through the years that you're especially fond of? Or was it just in general you enjoyed it?
Most of the time it was the RAs.
Oh,
If you can have a good relationship with the RAs, you can get along with the student.
Yeah.
Because the RAs are the ones that try to get the students straight by cleaning up their rooms and
Yeah.
picking up behind themselves.
Yeah,
And the RA and housekeeping used to work together
good.
to try to keep the student rooms clean.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen much change? Did you see much change in the students in just attitude or perspective over the time that you've been working here? Or does it feel the same?
Well, the changes that I have seen, I know one time it seemed like the faculty and the staff were more closer to the student. I remember when I used to work here, when I was going to school and things, they used to have parties. They used to have dynamite parties. And the parties was wonderful. And they used to invite everyone, the faculty and the staff. And they were very community. But now it seems like we have all different kinds of students now, international students, people. Some of them, don't party.
Yeah.
And some of them do party, and it's just have been a little change in that way.
Yeah.
But the changes are good.
Yeah.
The changes are
Yeah.
very good.
Well, who hosted the parties you were talking about? Did the college host them, or
I-
the faculty and staff got together?
I think it's more the alumni
Oh,
and in them houses and then they will invite everyone else
Yes.
around.
Yeah.
So in the community basis are the ones that work there, which was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about any faculty and staff you were particularly close to when you worked, say, in any of your
Well,
places?
the Rodin House, I love those people there. They were good to me. And we still have a relationship, after all the many years and leaving. I hated to leave. I even asked Lana, could I work in the library and still stay at the Rodin House?
In different sides of the track.
Yeah, he said, I fear not. You have to go across the track and stay across the track.
Yeah.
So it was like Mike Carter,
Yeah.
Paula,
Yeah.
Purdue,
And she's still good. Yeah.
Susan Donovan,
Mhm.
and Murray. A lot of people there at the Rodin House. All of them were very good to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
good. A lot of those people have been here a long time.
Yes,
Yeah.
they have.
And then both of us got part-time jobs working at the cafeteria, where
Yeah.
they changed the one that was in charge of the cafeteria were Chartwells. It was Chartwell during
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
I don't know what year it was though.
Mm-mm.
So you took that in addition to your work in physical plant.
Yes.
You just took a separate job with Chartwell's,
Right.
like on
Yes.
weekends or
Right.
nights or something.
Yeah, we were like
Evenings
got off in
and
the evenings.
weekends.
Oh.
like we had to be there like 4 o'clock until closing.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And during that time, closing was but 8:30.
Mhm.
My goodness.
And by the
Yeah.
time we clean up and all that kind of stuff, like we probably be getting out there by 9:30, something like
At
that.
night. And then what time did you have to be at work in the morning?
6.
6 o'clock.
Oh, that was a lot. You were burning the candle at both ends.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Did you do that for a very long period?
Well, I stopped because I decided Lauren Preston that work in the library.
Uh-huh.
I was talking to her about my GED, and according to every time I get a valuation, and they always say I needed my GED. When I came here, it wasn't required to have a GED in order to work here. But as time went on, they wanted everyone to get their GED, which I didn't. I hadn't had mine. I went as far as the 11th grade, and I dropped out. And I needed my GED, so Lauren, she helped me to get my GED, and it was wonderful. It was just great. And Randolph Macon paid for my books and
that's great.
helped me along the way. And the people at the library was wonderful and very supporting in me going to get my GED and going back to college.
Yes, that has been a
Yes.
wonderful story.
Yeah.
So what I remember when you got your GED, and Laurie and her parents, I think, went to your
Yes,
graduation
yes, they did.
ceremony. And
Yeah.
what year was that? About 2000.
There were 2004.
Oh,
Yes.
And then that's great. And then you did go on to J. Was it J. Sargent Reynolds? Yes. So
Sarge.
talk about your continuing studies.
Well, I was planning on just getting my GED and
Yes.
stopping there.
Yeah.
But Lauren, she said, you can go further. She encouraged me
Yes.
to continue on and to reach my goal. I had a goal that I wanted, and so she encouraged me to go and reach my goal. And it was a wonderful experience. Very good, I never thought that I would have came this far by working at Randolph Macon College. But this is a great place to work.
Yes.
A lot of times when I see parents or students, I always try to encourage them to hang in there.
Yeah.
And I say, this is a great place to work.
Yeah.
And I tell them how good the professors are.
Yeah.
Because Professor Ben Perel, he didn't know me, and Barbara talked to him about my GED and that I needed help in my math. And he helped me in the evening, volunteer free of charge.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Yes, yes, and
Very
you know,
good people
it's
here.
just very good people here.
Yeah.
Very, and it's just remarkable because the people that work here, most of them, they stay here until they retire.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how much they love it,
Yeah, that's wonderful.
and I hope I do the same.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, I hope so too. And we are here today. I wanted to get you two in here today because Barbara's about to retire.
Yes.
So she's counting the days down.
Yes,
So
Yeah.
no, I do hope you will stay. But so just for the record, you did. I think didn't you get your associate degree at James
Yes,
Sargent Reynolds?
yes, I did.
and
I
that's
did. I
wonderful.
got my degree, but I wanted to go further. But the only reason I wasn't able to go in the further because the nursing program that I needed to be in were in the mornings.
Yes.
And working here at Randolph Macon, my schedule is from 6 to 2:30.
Right.
So that kind of hold me back from not being able to proceed at this
Yeah.
time because I need to work in order to keep going.
Right. Sure.
And
sure.
and I love working here, so
Yeah.
I really don't want to go and try to find another job at this time.
Right, right.
Mm.
Well, that is a wonderful accomplishment to come here and while working, and for a while you're both working two shifts, and that's quite a bit, and then to get your GED and your
Yeah.
associates, that's really
Yeah.
a great accomplishment. So
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, what do you think have been some of the biggest challenges of working at Randolph Macon?
No, I just
Yeah.
back to you.
May not have any. That's fine. I was just so.
Give her a sample. Maybe she want a sample.
Well, an obstacle where there's something that you wanted to do work-wise, or just a challenge. No. Okay, that's
No
fine.
challenges.
Well, listen, you want to talk a little bit about changes you've seen on campus? Now, you worked in the old cafeteria, so you've seen
Yeah.
a lot of changes. We
Yes.
have a new cafeteria that came online in the early 80s.
Yes.
You want
Yes.
to talk about any other changes you've
Yeah.
seen on campus?
Well, since I've been here, this would be just about the third cafeteria that I have seen,
Oh.
because the old cafeteria was there. Then they have SD, and now they have Brock Commons.
Well, that's a student center. But
Yes,
they still
but they
right,
had when I was here, they had just a little place
yes.
that the student had to go and get a sandwich. They couldn't go in. They had to stay in there just because it's snack bar.
Oh,
A lot of them
snack
probably remember that. I
Uh-huh.
don't know. We'll call it snack bar.
bar. Uh-huh.
And that's where they used to go and get their little food or, and thing at. Yeah, big changes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Cora, how about, remember they had a nurse in the building back over in the back
Oh,
and all
yeah,
that? We used to have to
yeah.
go to the nurse's office.
Mm-hmm. They had
Um,
nurse.
Yeah.
And then they had one over there across the track too, on the other side of the used to be the old shirt factory. Is the lumber place where they make furniture at,
Uh-huh.
and they close all that, stop all that.
Yeah.
Randolph Macon.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So you've seen the campus has expanded. for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
They-
The new tennis.
the new tennis
The
courts up on Henry
courts,
Clay Road.
Andrew.
That new dorm, right?
Yes,
Right,
yes.
and then they got the
Macon.
senior one coming up.
Yeah, Macon.
Yeah.
And-
Birdsong.
Birdsong, right?
And the parts to the library.
New
New
addition to the
parts.
library,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
24/7.
Yes,
that's
yes.
new.
It's have been a lot of changes since the new president have come. Randolph Macon really have grown,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting bigger, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, how about other changes, but not just buildings, but any other change? I think we might have talked about this. Changes, the college has grown in numbers, in students and staff somewhat too. Any other changes just in the atmosphere or attitudes or anything or
Anything in particular? Anything you want to say?
yeah,
Well, there have been changes far as Randall Macon trying to help the employee to get healthy. Just like we
Yep.
having our walk program,
Yep.
the run program, the weight. Oh, I'm very fascinated about all those things that they have to offer us.
yes.
And not too long ago, we went to the massage where they had the massage. Oh, that was my first experience
Yes.
about and the staff and all of them are very active
Yes.
in getting involved in the program, which is good. And just like the picnic, I am very fascinated about the picnic that we all come together. And the cookout. Oh, Randall Macon have given us a whole lot since I've been
Yeah.
here. They have offered a lot of stuff. And there have been
Picnics
a
around
big
the fountain.
yes,
Right.
it's a lot of big changes. Cause I know one time it was so that the president hated that we was go there and have coffee and pastries in the morning.
Yes.
And
during spring break.
Yes, communicate together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it have been a big change. A
And
lot
then
of
what
changing.
about because now we have luncheons and round table. We didn't
Yes.
always have that.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah,
that
talk
is
about
true.
the
So that's a
Yeah,
free meal.
it's a lot of changes.
So
I
when
might
did
not.
the because they've had this since I've been here. Do you remember about when the faculty staff lunches came on board? Do you remember?
I don't quite know because a lot of those things they had like on email. They were sending out email, and by us being in physical plane, we wasn't getting the email. We
Right.
wasn't getting the information
Right.
about everything. They had to, and most of the time they had to post things up.
Yeah.
And I think even now it's a lot of staff in the physical plane that don't get their email
Right.
because they
So they still post things. To let you know.
yes. Yeah.
And then the round table, which is just for staff, all across the college, they had that once a month. And have they had?
Faculty and staff.
Sorry.
Faculty and staff, right?
Well, not for the round. I'm sorry. The round table once a month is just staff.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
The lunches are for faculty and staff,
Right.
but the round table is really just for staff.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, it's a
okay.
staff,
Yeah.
organization to
Mhm.
represent staff and their
Right.
and their interests. So that's good. And you, like you say about the emphasis on getting healthy and that kind of
Yes.
thing. And I know,
Yes.
Cora, you've been a big participant in the exercise programs at
Yes.
the Brock.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love it, and it have helped me a lot because when I came here, I was had a bad case of diabetes. My diabetes wasn't under control. Last time I went to my doctor by getting into the wellness program, exercising here at Van Macon, my blood sugar have went down. My high blood pressure have went down, and my doctor said my weight is going down, and for me to continue to do everything I can. Say if Randall Macon offer you free, said take it because it's good for my health and it keep me living longer. So I'm happy about that. My doctor very happy. That's the first time I seen her smile since I've been in there.
That's great. Okay. Cora, I just noted that you told me the first time you were here in the cafeteria, you were here from 1968 to 1973. And I was thinking that was right around the time when the college was integrating as far as accepting black students. The first black student graduated in 1968. And then they recruited quite a few black students at first to play basketball, and then some other students as well. And of course, you were also here in that time that college went co-ed. So I wondered if you had any thoughts, if you can remember back in that time, what the feeling of the staff was, or the feeling on campus as Randolph-Macon was experiencing those changes?
Well, I think um, it's it kind of half and half because at that time um, some of the black students that came loved Randolph Macon. Some of 'em made them feel good, like Howard Stephen. He
Yeah.
was one of the great. He was a little short guy,
Yeah.
but he could run.
Yeah.
And I think he put Randolph Macon on the map. It was a lot of black students that really put Randolph Macon on the map for sports,
Yeah.
like Ross and different
Yeah.
ones, Professor Ross. I
Uh-huh.
was here when all them they was here. They had some difficult time, but I think they just, because I remember one year they wrote on a pole and it was on there for a long time. They took some white paint and put on there no colored. And I think, that was kind of hurtful to Randolph Macon at that time. But I think with time and everything, they kind of gotten things straight
Yeah.
together. And I'm going to co-ed. For co-ed, it was kind of difficult from the beginning because we weren't used to the girls and the boys mixing up together. We had a lot of boys here,
Yeah.
and we just had a few girls.
Yeah.
But the boys wanted the girls here,
Yeah.
and they seemed like they took up a lot of time with the girls.
Yeah.
They were very nice to the girls.
Yeah.
They wanted the girls here, and after I seen it, and some of the others seen how they changed. They wasn't that wild. They wasn't putting butter in the ceiling like they were,
Mm-hmm.
and knocking over the water fountain and stuff
Yeah.
like that. We felt like it was a good thing.
Yeah.
And the girls seemed like they loved it too because they got a lot of attention from the boys.
Yeah.
So we adjust to it.
Yeah.
They wasn't in the same room, but they was like across the hall from each other.
Uh-huh.
So I think it was a good change
Uh-huh.
for some of them.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you have seen a lot of changes.
Yes.
So that's great. You
Yes.
got a good long perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Well, have you learned any lessons by working at Randolph-Macon that you can think of that when you think about your time here, you think, I'm glad I worked at Randolph-Macon because for whatever reason?
I don't know. The thing is that, because we met so many children from all over, and when I see them, I usually talk to them and try to question them where they're from and
Yeah.
are they homesick and, but another thing what I was thinking about and all, that they are very manable and all that. I haven't come across any what you call bad child. All of them been good and all that. They've been polite and I didn't have any problems with them. And now as I've gotten older, I notice now that all of them are saying yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, and all that. So,
That's nice.
so I said, like some of them I've told them, I said, you don't have to say that. You don't have to say yes, ma'am. They said, oh, yes, I do. I think from their home training and all that, their upbringing and all.
Yeah.
But I love the children. I love the professors. I just love Randolph-Macon. I really enjoy it. This has really been a good job for me. I really have enjoyed it. The people, the staff, everybody.
That's
I just love it. I love it. I
great.
really do.
Well, everybody here loves you too, so that's good.
Thank you.
Well, while you're saying that, I wanted to get on the record for you to talk about when you were one of the team leaders at Summerfest. Summerfest is the big, well, almost like a field day for the faculty and staff to participate. And Sharon Jackson and Human Resources divides everybody up between two teams, the Oaks and the Maples.
Mhm.
And Barbara, you were team leader for one of them, and you want to talk about that at all? Your experience on Summerfest?
I think I was with the Maples and all. I don't know how they chose me. I guess 'cause my big mouth and all that, you know. And I would just go around and cheering the people. You know, like we have games, a lot of competition and all that kind of stuff. And I'd be cheering the Maple side, trying to beat the Oaks and all that. And did all that, and we still lost. So that year the Maples didn't win. You know, the Oaks beat us.
Well,
but I really enjoyed it and all. I got extra tired that day because I was running, trying to, you know, go around and visit every game and all that, and try to push them to go ahead and win and all that, you know. But we still lost. But it still was good. We
you gave it your best.
Gave it my best. We had a good time. Yeah.
Well, how about you, Cora? Any good memories like that about working at the college? Anything special?
Well, I have a lot of memories. I don't want to call one in particular. The memories that I have is the biggest one is getting my GED.
Yes.
That was a big memory for me because for so many years I wanted to do, I didn't know how to do, I didn't know who to talk to, I know I needed it, but I didn't know where to go by.
Yeah.
And it was a blessing that Lauren came my way, and I always would be grateful for her, and not only her, for you, Barbara, for all the staff and the faculty for cheering me on and being supported. Sometimes, you know, I don't think that anyone know that I'm doing it, and they come up to me and say, "How are you doing in school? How is everything going?" And it just encouraged me to keep going because sometimes by me have been out of school so long, I feel like I forget everything. I don't know, and you know, and it just thinking about the people that have encouraged me have really brought everything back into perspective. And another thing is the students. Most of the students that come here that I see, they seem like they happy. They are very happy. You know, we probably have some of them that have had bad experience. I can remember one time this boy named John, one of the students, and he was very disappointed with things, and I could see, and I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I'm gonna leave this place." He said, "This is not the school for me." He said he was just talking on. I said, "Honey, hang in there." I said, "It will get better." I said, "Don't give up." I said, "Please don't give up." I said, "Look at how old I am and I'm going to school." I said, "It'll get better." So I didn't see him for a good little while. Then I seen him the next year. I said, "Oh my God, you still here?" He said, "Yes, ma'am." And he gave me a hug. He said, "Thank you, Miss Cora, for encouraging me and giving me," he said, "things changed and things worked out." And I remember another experience. One of the girls was very upset, and she was just crying and carrying on. And I think I came in and got you or one of the people in the library to try to talk to the girl, encourage her, and I try to tell her everything will be all right. And you know, the things that they experience is knowing that they are human and they go through changes, and that sometimes you have to bend over backwards for other people, and you have to learn to love them, you know, more than you forget all about yourself and think about, I even think about the student as being one of my children. And I'll say, what would I do if that were my son or daughter? To love them and to care about them and tell them it will be all right. And that wasn't one of my great experiences working at Randolph, making caring and sharing the love. And everyone here seemed like they support each other in some way or another. You might have a few that is not going along with things, But overall, the good outweigh the bad
Yeah.
here. And I thank Randolph Macon for everything that they have done for me the whole time I here. I don't know when I could retire like Barbara. I wish Barbara all the luck in the world,
Thank
and
you,
I'm pretty
Cora.
sure that I could
enjoy
see her
Cora.
sometime, because since she moved to Ashland now.
Yeah.
But I appreciate her friendship and us working together and everything. And I wish her the best of luck in
Thank
her
you, Cora.
health and everything.
Yeah. And see, Cora and I, we went to school together. We went to high school and all together
Oh,
here
you
too.
did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, Patrick Henry.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Gandy.
Gandy.
okay.
Gandy,
Uh-huh.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what came to my mind also, I was thinking about today, you know, it made me feel real good. We was over there at the guest house today, and one of the professors saw me and he said, "You getting ready to retire, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And he says, "That is mighty nice." He said, "You might not notice, but your face was the first face that I saw when I came to Randolph Macon College." He said, "I remember that smile on your face and all that, you be happy and all that." And he said, "You know, I just want to tell you that I wish you the best."
Isn't
He
Yeah.
that
said,
nice?
"Yeah." I said, "Oh, that made me feel so good." It was one of the professors, but I don't know his name.
In Copley.
Science
It
building.
had been in Copley. No, that's where I was,
Uh-huh.
and he remembered me.
Oh, your smiling face was one of the
That's
first
what he
welcomes
told me.
you got. Yeah, isn't that nice? See, you never know who you're.
I know. That's why you got to be
Make it
careful
work.
how you act and all that, you know, because somebody's always watching, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is my norm, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like this all the time. I just love people, and you know,
Well, you all have been a great team together, and you've been, really wonderful here in the library, working together the whole time I've been here and longer. So
yeah.
we're grateful for you both, and we're gonna miss Barbara,
No.
but you have to come back and visit us.
Oh, I will. I will. Then y'all might be chasing me away.
Yeah.
You know, but Cora, should we mention Matty Boy and Monster? They were
That's
at
your baby.
Matty Boy and Monster. Those were
At the cafeteria.
nicknames when we were at the cafeteria
Oh,
and
well,
all
tell
that.
me about them.
Oh,
Maddie
Lord.
Boy. Who is
Oh,
that?
Oh, I don't
They're
even know
one of
their
the
real
student-
name. Both of them are students.
And Monster. They were
Yeah.
students, and how did they get those names?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it might have been their names when they came here.
Oh, you didn't give them those names?
No, we
Oh,
didn't give them the names and all that. And anyway, and we used to be at the cafeteria and all that. And they used to always come and they were very playful and joking all the time and
Yeah.
all that. One of them even said that for his graduation that he was going to have on his robe and he's going to take it off and he was going to be buck naked. And I told him, I said, "No, please don't do that." He said, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to do it." I said, "No." I said, "Because, look, let me tell you something. If you do that, then it might mess you up in the long run and all that." I said, "Because it be graduation, but it still could mess you up and go on your record or whatever, something. No telling what they might do. I don't know." I said, "But please, don't do that. Don't do that." And anyway, so he promised me that he wouldn't do it, and he didn't, which was good and all that. But we used to enjoy them, although one of them did have on like a Batman outfit or something. We was in the cafeteria working one night and all that, and all he had on was, you know, like Batman with the little teeny
Little briefs.
briefs and all that. They were colored, and then he had on the cape, and he had this thing over his eyes like a mask and all that. And he came in the front door of the Estes and was running all the way through to the other side and all. And I thought, oh my God, yeah, they used to call him Cookie Monster. And I said, I told him, I said, "Oh, Lord have mercy, you shouldn't have did that." I said, "I knew it was you because you told me, but you had the Cookie Monster tattoo on your upper leg and all that." And you could see that cookie and all that. But yeah, we've had a lot of good times here
Yes,
and all
we
too.
have.
So
Yeah.
I am gonna miss, you know, working here with the people and all that kind of stuff like that. But like I said, I'm here in Ashland. I'll be coming here at the library. You know, it's open where I can come here and read and visit and enjoy continually.
Good. Well, we'll expect to see you in the library reading and enjoying yourself.
That's right.
And Cora will be in here with her cheerful face every day. You'll have a new partner.
Oh yes,
Somebody.
I don't know who
Yeah.
it would be. I hope it be a good person, and I hope Ginger and you all can get along with the person too, because it's I love working here too with you all. Y'all have been and all them parties. I told Barbara she could miss all them birthday parties and all the goodies and things that we all have.
Yeah,
You know,
that's right.
I
yes.
told my son, I said, it's so hard for me to lose weight because there's always eating going on around here and all.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said, Mom, that don't mean that you have to get it. And I said, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I said, it would be impolite if I don't get it.
Mhm. Well, maybe afterwards you can work on
Yeah, I'm going
that.
to work on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on the weight.
And then your doctor will be smiling as much as Cora's
Yes.
doctor.
How about
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh.
Well, Barbara and Cora, I want to thank you very much for coming in here today and sharing your memories. It's very important to have all perspectives, and to hear the stories of your time here because each person's perspective is unique. And we're really grateful that you came and shared those with us with Making Memories.
I enjoyed
And
it.
thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you.